Hey my friends, it's your girl Cassandra coming at you with another video. Happy Saturday. For those of you in the metro Atlanta area, it is a crazy, beautiful day outside. Hopefully you got to get out there and do something fun with your family and friends. Me and my kid went to the park. We were throwing the Frisbee, met up with another friend who brought our dog, and we just had so much fun out there today. So I hope you guys are getting in on some of this amazing weather for November 21st. But I wanted to make a really quick video for you guys. I'm actually just gonna put this video out on across all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm that one-stop shop girl, so I love to do it all in one shot. So I do have an encouraging word for you. And what I wanna do is at the end of that, I wanna explain to you guys all the exciting things that are about to pop off next week. So you wanna hang out to the end of this word so that you can get all the details on that. So I know I have shared this before, and I'm just gonna share it again. I just really feel the Lord stressing this word. Like, this is kind of like a word for 2020. It probably will be a similar word for 2021, but y'all, we are certainly in a breadcrumb scavenger hunt season. I have shared this a few times on a few different videos that I've done. And for those of you who may be watching this for the first time, I just feel like we are in a season where the Lord is just not giving us the big broad picture. Now, some of you might say, well, he often doesn't give us the big broad picture. That is true too. But I will say there are times where the Lord will say, this is the direction that we are, the general direction that we are going in. And here are a few steps we're going to take in order to get there. When I say we're in a breadcrumb season or in a scavenger hunt season, I'm saying you don't even have that whole, this is the general direction thing we're going in. And I have a few examples of that I'll show later. But I just really feel like this is a season where if you get any unction from the Holy Spirit, anything he asks you to do, step out and do it. Don't ask why. Don't ask, a million questions like I tend to do. Just say, if you're convinced it's the Lord, step out and do it. Just step out and do it. And you are going to be so pleased with the direction that your life goes. One example that I'm going to share, just a personal example, is, as some of you know, the ones that you have been following me for a few months now, the Lord had told me several months ago that I was going to be, he told me that I was going to be speaking at a women's conference. When I was approached initially about the conference, I was told that I was being asked to lead worship. So the Lord was always talking to me about speaking at the conference and speaking at the conference. And I was really confused because I didn't really understand why he was saying speaking at the conference when in actuality, I was going to be leading worship. But, I just kept moving forward. And eventually, as it turns out, one of the speakers had to bow out of the event, and therefore I was called on to speak on a particular topic. So I was just like, wow, look at that. Okay, he was right. Surprise, the Lord was right? But, in the process of all that, those of you who have been following me, y'all know I've been in this process of writing a book. The book was completed on August the 8th. I've been going through all the editor and publishing processes, and I knew that my book was not going to be available ready in hand for the conference. But he had used two people to tell me that I needed to have merchandise for a merchandise table. And I really didn't understand it. I was just kind of like, what merchandise would I have when I don't have my book? So, I mulled that over for a few weeks, and honestly, I didn't do much with it. And literally the Sunday before the women's conference, which was a Saturday, the Sunday before the women's conference, it was slated to be out there in Tennessee. The Holy Spirit says to me, so what about that merchandise, daughter? Where's the merchandise I asked you to have for this women's conference? And because I had so many things going on, I was like, oh my goodness, I still do not have any merchandise. And he immediately reminded me of a friend who I don't talk to often, but she had recently posted something in response to something I put on Facebook. And I remember I had used her about a year ago to customize some coffee mugs, one for my boss and then one for a friend of mine. So when I saw her pop up in my Facebook, I was like, oh, Amanda, I haven't talked to her in forever. So when the Holy Spirit came to me that Sunday and was like, what about that merchandise, daughter? I was reminded of Amanda. So I reached out to her and I'm like, girl, help, SOS. I'm like, the Lord told me I have to have merchandise for this women's conference. I don't know anything about merchandise. Like, I just have never done anything like this before, like help. And so she was so super helpful. And so she was like, well, you could do t-shirts, you could do journals, you could do it. So she just threw out a whole bunch of ideas, and some people who I could go reach out to get those. So some companies to get the t-shirt from. I got some of the stuff on Amazon, so on and so forth. In a rush job, I had everything shipped over to her. So this was Sunday night. Got everything shipped off to her. And by Tuesday, she had everything. By Friday, she had personalized everything. And we were meeting up on Friday for her to give me everything the day before the women's retreat on Saturday. So I've shared that story before, and that in and of itself is amazing. I sold several of my t-shirts, got to tell some ladies about my book, all that fun stuff. Well, as it turns out, this merchandise thing has completely and utterly taken off. Just completely and utterly taken off. So much so, because I was focused on that women's conference, a lot of the stuff that I had was like women's t-shirts. Like, for example, this is one of the t-shirts, the black V-neck t-shirt. We have a red one as well. They're just about sold out at this point. Don't be confused. They're short sleeves, but I just have like a long sleeve tee underneath this one today. But it blew up to the point where I had men coming to me and they're like, this is a great message. Like, why aren't there any men's merchandise? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I initially did all this for a women's conference, and you're right. Let me get some merchandise for the men as well. And, long story short, the money from this merchandise that I have been selling came at just a time when I needed it to pay for a project that the Lord recently told me that I needed to do. And I don't know why, but I never really thought about, the merchandise being like an income thing. He said, get merchandise. I was like, okay, my mindset was obedience, just have some things for the table, And, this week I was talking to him and he was just like, you know what, daughter? If you look at the stuff that I'm doing in your life, I'm actually answering your prayers, because I'm going to be a little bit transparent here. When he told me to do the merchandise, I was kind of feeling like, I have so much on my plate, like another thing to do. And this week he was just like, I know I'm stretching you, daughter. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but if you really pay attention to what I'm doing, I'm actually answering your prayers. And he reminded me of several years ago when I told him that I wanted to have 5 streams of income. I had listened to several different finance gurus and several different prophetic people who were talking about, in this next season, we're going to have to get creative. We're going to have to get into a place where we're not solely relying on corporate America jobs, And so I really, my spirit bore witness with that message. And so I told the Lord, I was just like, I'm open. Show me my 5 streams of income. I'm not going to get into all of it right now, but he has been opening up doors one by one by one. And he's showing me right now, like this merchandise thing, it wasn't just something that I told you to get for a table at a women's conference. I was inviting you into one of your streams of income. And so that's just like one example of, the breadcrumb season, the scavenger hunt season. Like, he's giving us these little pieces. He didn't come to me and say, hey, daughter, I want you to come up with some merchandise for that women's retreat. It's going to be the first batch of merchandise that you're going to do. This is going to wind up being another stream of income for you in the future. And I'm sure there's lots more things about this merchandise line that I don't even know about yet, honestly, because I'm still following the breadcrumbs. I'm still just on the scavenger hunt and looking for the clues and following whatever it is he's asking me to do. So I just wanted to come out here and just encourage anybody. If you are getting a message from the Lord, or he's asking you to do something and you're like, what? This is too much. I got a lot going on. This makes no sense, especially those things he asks you to do that you say, but this makes no sense. If you believe with all your heart that it is the Lord calling you to do it, and he's confirming it, because with me, he confirmed it through multiple different people that this was something that I needed to do. Don't question it. Just step out and do it. Don't question it. Just step out and do it. This obedience thing is going to open up so many doors that no man can shut for you. And in your case, it might be very similar to mine. These things that you're doing, these steps of obedience are probably going to wind up being answers to your prayers. It just doesn't look like the way that you would have done it. It doesn't look like the avenue that you would have answered that prayer had you been God, So I just really want to come out here and encourage you guys, like in this season, Follow those inklings, follow those nudgings of the Holy Spirit. Whatever he's calling you to do not hesitate. I promise you that delayed obedience is disobedience, and you don't want to miss out on all the things that he has in store for you. So that's just a really short example. I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that that encourages somebody, anybody, to step out in faith on anything the Lord may ask you to do in this season that may not make any sense to you. Just do it. Just do it. So hopefully that encouraged you. I also just want to explain about some exciting things that are happening next week. So y'all know that I finished my book. Y'all know that it is done with the publisher. Y'all know that it's currently on sale, Kindle version and paperback, on Amazon. You can get your pre-order right now if you want to. The official launch date for the book is actually Thanksgiving Day. So if you have pre-ordered via Kindle, what's going to happen is Thanksgiving Day, it's going to be delivered to your Kindle. If you have ordered the paperback, what's going to happen is Thanksgiving Day, they're going to start shipping out the books to every person. So if you are somebody who took a part of all the pre-sales excitement, thank you for your support. You have no idea how much it means to me. This is my first book. Most of the stuff the Lord has me doing right now, I can say I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just following the breadcrumbs, and I'm doing my best to just stay in step with him and stay in a place of obedience. And like I tell people often, I'm watching my own life unfold like a movie, because most of the time I have no idea what's coming next. But I wanted to tell you guys about 2 different giveaways that are going to be happening this week. So going back to Thanksgiving, I'm going to be jumping on to Instagram and Facebook at 10 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. For my YouTube followers, I encourage you to go out there on Instagram and find me. I'm at Cassandra Bellevue. Very simple, my first and last name. Just go out there and follow, and you will get all the updates there, and you will sign up for the notifications, and you'll get the notifications when I go live. So I'm going to go live on Thanksgiving Day. We're going to do a mini celebration concerning the book, and then I'm going to do a drawing for 2 different giveaways. The first giveaway, if you go to my IG page, there is a post that says 200 followers. So on Instagram, we are actually celebrating hitting that milestones of 200 followers. I am asking that if this page, or if these videos have been any kind of encouragement to you whatsoever, just pop a note in there in the comments and just let me know how the Lord may have used this page in your life, may have encouraged you, or what have you. We've already got a couple people out there who've put comments in. And what I'm going to do is go into that post, and I'm going to draw a couple names, and those people are either going to win a signed copy of my book or something from the merch store. So stay tuned for that. And then also, if you are somebody who's already purchased some of my merchandise, I want you to send me a picture of you in my merchandise. So I post those every now and then. Those are like customer appreciation posts. And what I'm going to do is do a drawing from the customers who have sent in their pictures. And we're going to do a drawing also for either a free book, signed book, or for something out of the merch shop. So I hope that you guys will join me on Thanksgiving morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, we're just going to do a mini celebration. I'll have the book in hand and get to show it to you and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to do the 2 giveaways. And then I'm going to let you guys go back to your Thanksgiving festivities with your friends and your family. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the DMs that y'all have been sending me. Thank you for the comments that you have been putting underneath all the videos. Y'all have no idea how y'all are encouraging me. Like, when the Lord told me to start doing these videos in April, I had no idea it was going to become all of this, turn into TV interviews and, you know, being invited to speak at conferences and all these different, like I had no idea. I just thought I was just being obedient. I was just being obedient and doing the videos. And I'm amazed at where it is taking me thus far. So anyway, again, guys, I encourage you to just follow the Lord, step out and do what he's calling you to do in this breadcrumb scavenger hunt season, because obedience is going to take you way further than anything else would. So I will see you again live Thursday morning, Thanksgiving Day, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you guys, and don't forget to submit yourself into both of the drawings. I'll be doing 2 giveaways on Thanksgiving morning. I'll catch you guys then. Bye.